There comes a moment in life when silence becomes louder than excuses. When you finally realize no one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your teacher. It's just you and the choices you make every single day. That's when it hits you, you owe it to you. The first step toward mastery is ownership. Most people spend their lives waiting for circumstances to change, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to show them the way. But waiting is another form of surrender. It is giving away your power and convincing yourself that life happens to you, not through you. When you accept responsibility for your path, something shifts inside you. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of the world and start realizing that you are a participant in its creation. You begin to understand that every choice, every reaction, every moment of hesitation or courage, all of it contributes to the direction your life takes. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that has happened. It means understanding that you have control over how you respond to it. It's easy to say, I am like this because of my past, because of what people did to me, because of the environment I grew up in. But the truth is, those experiences may have shaped you, yet they do not define what you can become. The moment you decide to take full responsibility, you reclaim your freedom. Freedom from the limitations of your history, freedom from the expectations of others, and freedom from the belief that you are powerless. When you own your path, excuses begin to lose their meaning. You no longer say, I can't because. Instead, you start asking, how can I? That small shift in language transforms your perspective. Responsibility is not about guilt or shame. It is about power. When you blame, you hand your power to others. But when you take ownership, you hold the power in your hands. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you, and you start realizing that the only one who can truly save you is you. Look around. Every person you admire, every individual who has achieved something meaningful, they share one thing in common. They stopped waiting. They took ownership. They didn't rely on the approval of others to validate their journey. They made choices that often went unseen, choices that demanded courage, consistency, and sacrifice. And that is what responsibility truly means. Showing up for your life, even when no one is watching. There will always be challenges, distractions, and people who don't understand your path. Some will doubt you, some will try to pull you back to where you started. But when you take responsibility, you stop allowing the opinions of others to dictate your direction. You realize that the path ahead may not always be easy, but it is yours, and that alone is enough reason to keep walking. You no longer need the world's approval to move forward. You walk because it's your journey. You walk because you owe it to yourself. Ownership means facing your fears without running. When something goes wrong, instead of pointing outward, you look inward and ask, what can I learn from this? That question is powerful because it transforms failure into feedback. Most people avoid responsibility because they fear failure. They see it as an attack on their identity. But once you understand that failure is simply a teacher, responsibility becomes lighter, even empowering. You start to see every mistake as a necessary lesson, every setback as guidance, and every obstacle as part of your training. Taking ownership is not a single decision. It is a daily practice. It means waking up and choosing to act with awareness. It means realizing that your attitude, your energy, and your focus are within your control, no matter what is happening around you. You can't always choose your circumstances, but you can always choose your response. That's where true power lies. The world may try to pull you into chaos, but your calm, your clarity, your discipline, they are your responsibility. There will be moments when you feel lost, when the path ahead seems unclear. In those moments, taking responsibility means trusting yourself enough to take the next step, even when you can't see the entire staircase. You might stumble, you might fall. But each fall teaches you how to rise stronger. You begin to understand that life is not about control. It's about conscious participation. You may not control the wind, but you can learn to adjust your sails. Many people fear responsibility because it exposes them. When you own your path, you can no longer hide behind excuses. You can't say, "It wasn't my fault," because you understand that even your reaction was your choice. That level of honesty can be uncomfortable, but it's also the beginning of strength. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who admit their mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving. They understand that responsibility is not a weight to carry. It's a doorway to growth. Taking responsibility also brings clarity. When you know that your life is in your hands, confusion begins to fade. You stop scattering your energy across meaningless distractions. You focus. You become deliberate with your time, your thoughts, and your actions. You start to live with intention, not by accident. And slowly, you build momentum because life responds to those who take charge of it. Sometimes people misunderstand what responsibility looks like. They think it means controlling everything or never asking for help. But that's not it. True responsibility is not about isolation. It's about awareness. You can ask for help while still owning your choices. You can lean on others without abandoning your direction. You can be humble enough to learn and still firm enough to stand by your values. Responsibility is balance between action and patience, between listening and leading, between letting go and holding on. And when you finally live this way, something profound happens. You stop chasing happiness and you start cultivating it. Because happiness doesn't come from perfection. It comes from alignment. When your thoughts, words, and actions match your purpose, you feel at peace. Not because life is easy, but because you are living it honestly. The journey of responsibility is not a straight line. There will be days when you fall back into old patterns, when fear whispers that you're not ready. But each time you return to awareness, each time you remind yourself that this life is yours to shape, you strengthen the foundation within you. So take responsibility, not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to truly live. Stop waiting for someone else to decide your worth, your timing, or your future. Stand up, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that this moment is in your hands. You owe it to you. In the end, no one can live your life for you. No one can fight your battles, build your strength, or create your peace. You owe yourself the courage to try, the patience to fail, and the persistence to rise again. Don't wait for someone to hand you purpose. Create it, because every breath you take is a reminder this life is your responsibility, your journey, your gift, and you owe it to you to make it count.